You know, there's something absolutely fascinating about the way we humans approach life. We walk around with our hands in tight fists, clutching at everything we can get our fingers on. Money, relationships, plans, ideas about who we should be, what we should achieve, how things ought to turn out. And then we wonder why we feel so tired, so anxious, so perpetually dissatisfied. It's rather like trying to carry water in your cupped hands. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. But cup your hands gently, and the water rests there, cool and refreshing. This morning I want to talk to you about one of the most liberating discoveries you can make in this lifetime. That the more you let go, the more life gives you. Not less, more. And I don't mean this as some sort of mystical promise or spiritual bargaining chip. I mean it as a practical, observable fact about how existence actually works. But first, let's be clear about what we mean by letting go, because there's a tremendous misunderstanding about this. People think letting go means becoming passive, indifferent, or irresponsible. That if you let go, you'll lose your ambition, your care for others, your ability to get things done. This is nonsense. Complete nonsense. Letting go is not about dropping out of life, it's about dropping into life. It's the difference between swimming upstream, against the current, exhausting yourself in the struggle, and learning to move with the water, using its power to carry you forward. Think about a master musician. When a violinist plays, are their fingers gripping the bow with desperate intensity? Of course not. Their grip is firm enough to control the bow, but relaxed enough to let the music flow. If they held too tightly, the music would sound forced, mechanical. If they held too loosely, there would be no music at all. There's a perfect middle way, a dynamic balance between holding on and letting go. This is exactly how we need to approach life, not with the death grip of someone terrified of losing control, but with the confident relaxation of someone who understands that control was always an illusion anyway. You see, we live under this tremendous delusion that we're supposed to be the directors of the cosmic play. That if we just plan hard enough, worry sufficiently, control tightly enough, we can make everything turn out according to our wishes. But life has other ideas. Life is like a great river, and we are like leaves floating on its surface. We can choose how we float, but we cannot choose where the river goes. The person who hasn't learned to let go spends their entire existence fighting the river. They paddle frantically, trying to go upstream, wearing themselves out in a battle they can never win. The person who has learned the art of letting go discovers something marvelous. They find they can navigate the currents, they can choose which branch of the river to follow, they can even influence the direction of their flow. But they do it by working with the water, not against it. Let me tell you a story that illustrates this perfectly. There once was a man who owned a beautiful garden. He spent every waking moment tending it, worrying about it, trying to control every aspect of its growth. He would stand over his plants, demanding that they grow faster, straighter, more beautiful. He would rage at the weather when it didn't cooperate. He would lie awake at night, anxious about pests and diseases and all the things that might go wrong. And you know what happened? His garden was mediocre at best. The plants seemed stunted, stressed, lacking the natural vitality that makes a garden truly magnificent. Then one day, exhausted by years of this struggle, he simply gave up. Not in the sense of abandoning the garden, but in the sense of surrendering his need to control every detail. He continued to plant, to water, to weed, but he did it with a different quality of attention. He did his work, and then stepped back. He allowed the garden to be itself. The result was magical. The plants began to flourish in ways he had never seen. The garden developed its own personality, its own rhythm, its own unique beauty. By letting go of his need to control, he had given the garden the space it needed to become everything it could be. This is exactly what happens in our lives. The more we release our grip on how things should be, the more space we create for things to be wonderful in ways we never could have imagined. But here's where it gets really interesting. Most of us are terrified of letting go because we think it means we'll lose everything. We think that if we're not constantly vigilant, constantly striving, constantly worrying, everything will fall apart. This fear is based on a fundamental misunderstanding about the nature of reality. You are not separate from the universe. You are not a small, isolated being struggling to survive in a hostile world. You are the universe itself, expressing itself as you in this particular time and place. When you truly understand this, not just intellectually, but in your bones, the fear of letting go begins to dissolve. Think about your heartbeat. Do you have to remember to make your heart beat? Do you lie in bed at night, consciously controlling the rhythm? Of course not. Your heart beats by itself, perfectly, efficiently, without any effort from your conscious mind. This is not because you're careless or irresponsible. It's because your heart is part of a vast intelligence that knows exactly what it's doing. In the same way, your life is part of this same vast intelligence. When you let go, you're not abandoning control to chaos. You're allowing the deeper wisdom of existence to work through you. Here's something that will amaze you. The things you're most afraid of losing by letting go are often the very things that are holding you back from receiving what life really wants to give you. That job you're hanging on to out of fear, even though it makes you miserable. By letting go of your fear of insecurity, you open yourself to work that actually fulfills you. Those plans you've made about how your life should unfold, by releasing your attachment to them, you allow life to surprise you with possibilities far more wonderful than anything you could have planned. This doesn't mean you stop making plans. It doesn't mean you become passive about your relationships or your work. It means you hold your plans lightly, like a bird resting in your palm, firm enough that it feels secure, gentle enough that it can fly away when it's time. The Chinese have a beautiful concept called Wu Wei, which is often translated as non-action or effortless action. It doesn't mean doing nothing. It means acting in harmony with the natural flow of things. It's the difference between forcing a door that's stuck and finding the right way to open it. The door opens either way. You see opportunities that you missed when you were focused only on your predetermined goals. You attract people and circumstances that align with your true nature, rather than fighting for things that were never right for you anyway. But perhaps most importantly, you discover peace, real peace, not the temporary relief that comes from getting what you want, but the deep, unshakable peace that comes from knowing that you're exactly where you need to be, receiving exactly what you need to receive in every moment. This doesn't mean life becomes easy, or that you never face challenges. It means you face challenges from a completely different place. Instead of being the victim of circumstances, you become a curious participant in the great dance of existence. Problems become puzzles to solve, rather than disasters to avoid. Difficulties become opportunities for growth, rather than evidence that life is against you. Let me share something with you that might sound paradoxical. The more you let go, the more you actually receive. But what you receive is often different from what you thought you wanted, and that's the beauty of it. Life knows better than you do what will actually make you happy. Your mind thinks it knows what you need. It has its little list: more money, a better job, a perfect relationship, recognition, security, and it spends tremendous energy trying to acquire these things. But life, in its infinite wisdom, knows that what you actually need is to become the kind of person who can fully receive and appreciate whatever I've done. When you let go, you stop being so focused on getting that you begin to notice what you already have. And what you already have is extraordinary. You have consciousness, the ability to experience anything at all. You have this moment with all its unique flavors and possibilities. You have breath moving through your body, keeping you alive without any effort from you. You have senses that can perceive beauty, a mind that can understand and create, a heart that can love. When you really see this, when you really feel the abundance that's already here, your relationship with wanting changes completely. You stop grasping desperately for more and start appreciating fully what is. And when you do this, something magical happens. More comes to you, but it comes as a gift rather than as something you've struggled to obtain. Think about the people you most enjoy being around. Are they the ones who are constantly needy, always grasping for your attention or approval? Or are they the ones who are comfortable with themselves, who don't seem to need anything from you, who give their attention and energy freely? Obviously, it's the second type. These people are magnetic because they've learned the secret of receiving by giving, of getting by letting go. When you stop needing so desperately, when you let go of your attachment to outcomes, you become like this. You become someone that life enjoys giving to, because you're not coming from a place of scarcity and demand. You're coming from a place of fullness and trust. Here's another way to look at it. Imagine you're at a feast, but you're so focused on hoarding the bread rolls that you don't notice the incredible meal being offered all around you. You leave the feast feeling hungry and dissatisfied, clutching your stale rolls, having missed the real banquet entirely. This is what most of us do with life. We focus so intently on acquiring and protecting the few things we think we need that we miss the incredible abundance that's being offered to us in every moment. The art of letting go is learning to trust that the feast is real, that there's enough for everyone, that you don't need to hoard anything because more is always being offered. But how do you actually practice this? How do you learn to let go when every instinct screams at you to hold on tighter? Start small. The next time you're stuck in traffic, instead of raging against the delay, practice letting go. You can't control the traffic, but you can control your response to it. Breathe. Listen to music. Use the time to rest your mind. Notice how much more pleasant the experience becomes when you stop fighting what is. The next time someone criticizes you, instead of immediately defending yourself, pause. Let the criticism exist without needing to fix it or fight it right away. You might discover there's something useful in it. Or you might realize it says more about them than about you. Either way, you don't need to let it disturb your peace. The next time you have a plan that doesn't work out, instead of seeing it as a failure, see it as life offering you a different path. Maybe it's a better path. Maybe it's teaching you something you need to learn. Maybe it's protecting you from something you can't see yet. Practice holding your opinions lightly. You don't have to abandon your beliefs, but you can stop being so attached to being right. When someone disagrees with you, you can be curious rather than defensive. What if they have a piece of truth that you haven't considered? What if there's room for both perspectives? Practice with your emotions. When fear arises, don't automatically try to get rid of it. Let it be there, so feel it completely. Often, when we stop fighting our emotions, they transform on their own. Fear can become excitement. Anger can become clarity. Sadness can become compassion. The more you practice these small acts of letting go, the easier it becomes to release your grip on the bigger things. You begin to develop what I call relaxed confidence. You do your best, you make your plans, you take your actions, and then you release the outcome to the larger wisdom of life. This doesn't make you passive or ineffective. Quite the opposite. When you're not wasting energy on worry and control, you have much more energy available for actual creativity and productivity. When you're not attached to one specific outcome, you can see multiple possibilities and choose the best one. When you're not defending yourself constantly, you can actually hear what life is trying to tell you. Here's something beautiful that happens when you truly learn to let go. You discover that you were never really in control anyway. That sense of control you were fighting so hard to maintain was always an illusion. The universe has been taking care of you all along. Your heart has been beating, your lungs have been breathing, your food has been digesting, your cuts have been healing, all without any conscious effort from you. Once you see this, Once you really understand that you're being supported by an intelligence far greater than your worried mind, letting go stops feeling like falling and starts feeling like flying. The ultimate letting go is the realization that there is no separate you to let go in the first place. You are not a drop of water trying to survive in the ocean. You are the ocean, temporarily expressing itself as a drop. When you truly understand this, the fear of loss dissolves completely, because what can the ocean lose? But even if this ultimate understanding seems too abstract, you can still practice the art of letting go in very practical ways. And as you do, you'll discover something wonderful. Life becomes more fun. When you're not taking everything so seriously, when you're not desperately trying to control outcomes, you can enjoy the process. You can appreciate the surprise plot twists. You can laugh at the cosmic jokes. You become like a child playing in a garden, delighted by whatever flowers bloom, curious about what will happen next, not worried about whether the garden is growing according to some predetermined plan. And here's the final beautiful irony. The more you let go, the more you discover that you already have everything you were looking for. Not because you've acquired more things, but because you've remembered how to see the abundance that was always here. The love you were seeking was already in your capacity to love. The security you were chasing was already in your ability to meet whatever comes with presence and grace. The happiness you were pursuing was already available in your willingness to appreciate this moment, exactly as it is. So I invite you to begin today. Pick one small thing that you've been gripping too tightly. A worry, a plan, an expectation, a need to be right. And gently, like opening your hand to release a bird, let it go. Don't do it with drama or effort. Do it with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that whatever is meant to come will come, and whatever is meant to go will go. And then watch. Watch what happens when you create that space. Watch how life rushes in to fill it, often with something more beautiful than anything you could have planned. This is the great secret that the sages have whispered through the ages, that you don't have to earn love, or fight for security, or grasp for happiness. These things are your birthright. They come to you naturally when you stop blocking them with your fear and control. The more you let go, the more life gives you, not as a reward for good behavior, but as the natural result of removing the obstacles to what was always trying to flow to you anyway. So, let go and learn what it means to be truly magnificently alive. The water is waiting to support you. All you have to do is stop fighting it and learn to float.